No, I'm not. We've been talking for like 30 minutes.
It always happens. You're fine before we go live, and your shit fuck up. It's gonna fuck up.
Well, guess what? Fuck up. We live, baby. This motherfucker. Ready to rock. And you know, man, I'm sorry I've been slacking, man. We haven't had a stream since the ghetto reverie, man. You know, always trying to sit back on them fat checks from that real quick. But now we ready to rock. And we about to get it popping. Talking about chapter 933 and 934 as well. And I wanted to say thank y'all to everybody. We at 500 fucking subscribers now. Yikes, that shit's crazy.
Road to 1,000.
Almost to 1,000. And then y'all could actually super chat Soap and talk all this shit y'all really want to.
Yeah, y'all can send me $5. I'll take y'all $5. Oh, no. Hell yeah, every time. Every time.
Yeah, absolutely. And best believe I'm not giving him any of that money.
Oh, wow.
But okay. Eris comes back when the stream starts.
What up, Super Rookie? Well, what a coincidence.
he wanted to come on once the cameras
with some homies. We here today with J Hut. We here today with Soap. We here today with Eris, of course, and also finally, I've been trying to get this man in here for a long time. My guy, Spidey Jackson.
What's up?
Dr. Creditless.
Oh no!
Oh no! Give me some time, man. Give me some time.
Nah, I'm kidding. Y'all can make that decision on.
We can get to that in a minute, bro.
Yeah. Whatever.
Exactly. So no one really knows any of our thoughts on what has happened in the past two chapters because, like I said, haven't streamed. So let's talk about the death of Komurasaki at the hands of Koshiro rather. That is a little wild to me because it's weird that you get introduced to a character and then a couple of chapters later she just gets taken out like that when I thought she was going to be a pivotal part of Wano.
I don't buy it. I don't. There's no way this shit is true. Like, you don't have a bitch like this make us think that she's Momonosuke's sister to just kill her. Mm-hmm. Like, and then she's holding the note too. Like, you're not that slick, bro. She's not dead.
I know, but how did you go about faking that? Like, he just slashed her.
Hey, look, he got petals coming out of his sword. How does he do that? I don't know, but he could do it.
Okay. You know what I mean? That's a good point.
It's just from a story, like a narrative standpoint, it just doesn't make any sense why you would build up one expectation.
That's what I'm saying.
To just pivot the other way. Like, no, I don't see that.
And then with that, and then they had a little funeral or something. So apparently they had to put her body in a coffin, right?
They put somebody in a coffin.
I mean,
we're gonna see the funeral though. We're gonna see the funeral, but that's in 934.
A wildfire cremated her.
Oh, yikes!
That's facts. I mean, I don't know how she'd go about faking her death, but I'm with like Hans on the notion that she probably isn't dead, just based on like how she's like been portrayed in the story. Then like again, like she's taken out so quickly, so there's definitely gonna be more to that. Like,
yeah, that bitch ain't fucking dead. The fuck out of here.
I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to believe.
It's just I feel like that Puddin shit. You know, when Puddin was good. Think about who?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's a little different. Like, we saw her get cut down.
Did we though?
What do you think? Smoke and mirrors?
I mean, look, we see it's like them having a conversation, and then we see a panel with blood spurting out. But like, it really could have been like Usopp ketchup star. You know what I mean? Like,
oh my god,
I'm serious.
I don't know how Oda's gonna write himself out of that. If she actually is dead, I think that's kind of trash.
That's super trash. Well, I mean, it's not that trash, honestly, because I don't really give a fuck. Like,
trash, then it seems like it was a waste of panels.
I mean, there is a chance that like it was just there to like establish that Koshiro is like a double agent. Like maybe that was her role in the story. Like I think that'd be kind of trash, but I can see him like just doing that, like that being the linchpin for everything.
I don't. About him actually picking it up. So do you think that she dropped? So did she drop that, or was that his?
It seemed like it was hers. It was like in her hands, wasn't it? And then they find it in her hands.
That was my interpretation.
I don't know. I thought
he picks it up. Doesn't he take it out of her hands?
Yeah, but no, he took it out of her hands. I thought he just picked it up.
I mean, her hand is laying right next to it, so.
Or maybe that's very possible. I thought he was just picked it up because there's that whole theory going around that he was one of the scabbers and he defected.
Oh, I mean, I think he's a scab, and anything beyond that, I don't really know or care. But you know what I mean. I think he's a scab for sure.
I feel you.
But and like whatever this, like they got a thing going on. Whatever this is, like it is. Even like the way, like he was ordering motherfuckers to stop Orochi, like it was all like he was the one that was in charge, not them. So like if they're plotting on the low, cool. You know what I mean? I
mean, yeah, because there's interesting things alluding to that. You've got back then when Page One first showed up and he was reporting, he reported to Boss Koshiro.
Oh yeah,
not Lord Orochi.
Yeah,
so I thought that was interesting that Kaido's headliners would directly report to Koshiro.
I mean, you could tell, like, at least amongst the Orochi's men, like, they don't respect that nigga at all. At all.
No, they thought he was some sort of old kook that was spitting delusional things about the 8 people still being alive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what's going on. Oda's obviously, like, I think this is like the way Oda's writing this. I can tell at the very least, like, Oda knows what the fuck he's doing. He's planning this shit because I don't think he would be doing all of this wild shit for, you know what I mean, just to throw us off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like every action has an intention, and this is just a way to lead to something more crazy. Because the fact that we're about to see the funeral panel. You know what I'm saying? Is probably some shit's gonna go down at that funeral, for sure.
Yeah, I would say so. Another thing I wanted to point out, I want to talk about Orochi. I'm not liking his portrayal.
Yeah, no. The more I look at him, the more I see Usopp. I'm just waiting.
Because like he's starting to become. First of all, he's already treated as a joke by his men, right? The only time we really see him show a real show of dominant power was when he was bitching CP0. So when he did that, I was like, okay, maybe. But then now that I've seen these last few chapters, and I'm like, I think he's literally just doing it because he's got Kaido on his back. And I mean, he even mentioned it that we got Kaido backing us, blah blah blah. But I think it was trash that basically a fodder woman slapped the taste out of his mouth, and he flew. And I also thought it was trash.
I mean, well, she smacked the dog shit out of this nigga. Just listen, look, she got the good genes.
Like dog, like she like really put her hip into it.
Yeah, she really smacked the dog shit out of this nigga.
Bro, like the nigga, like you know, like the change of panels. Like he literally went to another panel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then, it reminded me of like how when Luffy punched the Celestial Dragon, in the anime, he punched him. And he hit him so hard that the anime turned into a manga.
I mean, I'm like real. Like, obviously, Oden is not the best looking, the best, you know. Like, obviously, Oden's trying to make us feel like he's a bitch, right? And he probably has bitch, like he probably got bitch ass qualities. But
yes, my bitch nigga alarm is going off.
I think his relationship with Oden is gonna be important. And, like, I think he's grimy for sure, but that doesn't necessarily mean that because he looks so doofy, because he's a grimy nigga, that he can't bomb. You know what I mean? And, like, this, what he has is not no smile. This shit is a mythical Zoan, man. Is it a mythical or is it an ancient? I mean, it's mythical, right?
It's a mythical. It's a mythical.
Yeah.
We're talking about Orochi, right?
Yeah.
It's a mythical snake.
Okay, so yeah, like he can't be no just on the fact that he had that fruit. Nah. And he's from, like, at the end of the day, he's from Wano, and he was best friends with Oden. We know that for a fact. That he can't be a scrub. Like, even the way, like, the little bit when we saw Kinemon, like, kind of explaining the backstory and, like, everyone's reactions, like, whatever that shit was, like, it feels like Orochi has to be somewhat of that nigga, even if he's grimy. If he grimy as a motherfucker but whipping ass, I'll rock with him every day.
He's not a scrub in the same way that someone like Kinemon or fucking like Raisin is a scrub. The niggas we talk to think that, like, you know, Orochi, like, some of them think that Orochi's like, he's like relative to Kaido, he's strong, but like, yeah, Orochi's relative to like an average person, he's strong, but like, I don't think he's weak, but he's not going to pose a threat to someone like Luffy or Law or Zoro. Would they pose a threat? No, but I don't think those characters necessarily have an easy time taking him down either. Depend, like, by easy time, like, what do you mean by that? Like,
I mean, they're not one shot in this, nigga. None of them are.
2-shot. Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a mid-diff fight, like, even, like, sure they'll get on top, but like, yeah, mid-diff.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's being generous.
I don't think that's generous at all. Like, I feel like look, I'm not willing to downplay him just because he looks trash.
Yeah,
that's the basis of everyone's argument. You know what I mean? And that, like, cool. You know what I'm saying? We ain't seen the nigga do shit. We know his fruit, at the very least, is dope. It's not like he got some trash ass fruit. He's not spandom. Everyone's relating him to spandom, and that's not fair.
But I'm saying he's already taken 2 L's, so that goes on top of that.
Yeah, like,
taken 2. I mean, look, he wanted some pussy. He failed. That's funny. You know what I mean?
He got slapped. He got the top collapsed on him, which I'm pretty sure anyone with any type of capability will not be affected by that collapse.
Listen, at the end of the day, he wanted that bitch quote unquote dead, and she quote unquote died.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? I gotta play that, but
no, don't do that, because you know.
Let's not act like, even though his main head was sitting here getting smacked and shit, that the other 6 were biting and fucking other niggas up. They were. Period.
Pause. But yeah, dude, like, it's I don't know, and he's sucking up fodder.
Yeah, like, he wasn't trying that shit on anyone, like, of note. Like, I don't think.
Don't let him try Koshiro with that.
I mean, look, again, there's dead nothing we could say besides that the nigga looks garbage.
I mean, yeah, but
his fruit is not garbage just because he got smacked in his face. Like, a lot of niggas got smacked in their face.
It's fine that he got smacked. The nigga's eyes went white and, like, blood came out. It looked like he got hit by like a jet pistol. Like, so, like, if it was like Luffy coming at him with a red hawk, like, he's not getting up from that. Like,
yes, he is. He's a Zoan. Don't turn your brain off.
What if him getting slapped like that was more of a gag, the same way how Nami always punches Luffy and leaves like a knot on his head?
Yeah, which is very applicable. It's very possible.
Yeah, but if you look at the
like, you acting like a jet, like, he's not taking down a Zoan with a jet Gatling.
I don't know, depending on the zone. Like, I get what you're saying, Aris, but looking at, I don't know about that. Like, we have this thing in our minds that, like, yeah, Zoan have great endurance and durability, and that's true. But at Emple, they get back up. They have enhanced recovery time, but, like, at Emple Down, there's really a part in the story where, like, Luffy and Jinbei, like, no-diff the guards, like, off-panel in seconds. Like, because they were
dead from the niggas.
Yeah, like, they got back up again, but they weren't, like...
I mean, so your point is nullified by them getting back up again.
Yeah, but, like, you're saying that a jet Gatling's not going to knock him out, which...
No, he's going to get back up again.
But how long?
Like, jet Gatling?
A jet Gatling. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
so you're talking about current Luffy.
If it was a Kong order, we would have a conversation.
You're talking about current Luffy. Current Luffy in Gear second with armament is not knocking his man out.
No.
I disagree with that. Like I'm being generous saying he gets back up. Like if he gets back up, it's like 2 days later. Like in my opinion,
that's retarded. That's retarded. No.
What regard?
That's retarded.
I'm not going to give him like out for durability just because he's a zone.
No, yes you can. I have every right to do that. You would do that with Kaido, no question. But because of how Orochi looks, you're saying, "Oh, that's not applicable."
Nigga, that is Kaido.
Yeah, Kaido like fell 10,000
feet. We do it with Jack. We're gonna do it with Queen. We do it with King.
That's facts.
That's crazy.
So I like all of this again. It's based on how he looked. Like we scored. Like it's just, take him looking.
Bro,
like
everyone you just named, everybody you just named is not getting sent flying by Kurosaki.
He did not get flying by She just smacked him. The same way Luffy gets smacked and gets sent flying, the same way Sanji gets smacked and gets sent flying, the same way Charlos got smacked and got sent flying. Oh, nigga gets smacked and gets sent flying. It's funny. It's a gag. It's a joke. It was for emotion. It was for impact. But to act like that smack made him so trash, like he didn't transform and spend back trying to bite this bitch.
Nah.
I think with Orochi, when people first seen him, they're already like, yeah, fuck this guy. This guy looks like Wario. And
I gave him a chance.
We're like, he's the shogun, the leader of the samurai, right? So we already especially way back then, we had high expectations. Yo, he might be able to beat Mihawk, right? So when we see this guy, we're kind of let down just off appearances. So off those guys that base it on appearances initially, which kind of makes sense, they're already like, they're kind of waiting for shit to make him look more trash. So they're like, oh yeah, he's definitely trash. So anything that happens with this guy that's negative, see, he was trash. They're waiting for it. He gets smacked, he's trash.
I wasn't waiting for it. I've been waiting.
Exactly.
Everything's trash about it.
Because everybody had this. Everyone thought Orochi was going to be this faded motherfucker that was going to be dope and all that. And then once we saw the first picture with the buck teeth with the gap in the middle, all of a sudden, Orochi trash.
Yeah,
that nigga might be trash.
I think his dragon form looks fucking cool.
I do too.
Do you really? Do you really?
Are you really? Fine, question me, but yes, I do.
That shit
anyway, we're gonna have to get off this because we're gonna talk about this for another 30 minutes if we continue on. So let's move on. All right, so I want to talk about the actually immense amount of humor that went down in chapter 933, because the ninjas and Nami and everything, that was all funny. Brooke and everything, that shit was hilarious.
Yeah, can we actually talk about Nami? Because I like you, like, Oda should never gave that bitch Zeus.
This bitch is overpowered.
Like, what in the fuck kind of shit? Like she could have never did that with. Well, I mean, could she have done that with a weather egg? Y'all think?
No,
not as fast.
No, she lit up that entire building
in an instant, right? Like shook that shit. Niggas said it felt an earthquake and shit like that. Nah, I can't.
Like
that
shit
can't go down.
Like I don't even know. Can she fight a headliner now?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, my bad. Let me rephrase that. Is she washing a headliner?
Yeah. Like someone like Oden.
Yeah. Yeah. And, or
hey man, keep on hold them out your mouth.
I'm just saying, like, hold them at this point would get loaded by Nami.
The only thing that's like shitty is that she can't ride on Zeus. If she could ride on Zeus, it would be over.
She probably can.
Nah, she can't.
I think all the Straw Hats are strong. I know that's kind of vague, but if there's a top 10 commander level, I think they're under that, all of them. Head or under.
So, I mean, like, where's so because not only does she have Zeus, obviously she can fight him. Oh, what's up, Grim, my guy?
What up, Grim?
And she still got that magic wand shit that we ain't seen. We don't know what the fuck it does. She just brought it up and never seen it since.
You got Nami moving around with Mirage Temple, so you don't even know where the real one of her is, and then you've got Zeus just raining down hell.
Yeah, like that Thunderbolt shit could fuck up a lot of people.
That could fuck up that could honestly hurt Jinbei a lot. Sanji, Zoro, Luffy obviously
would be done. Jinbei would be done by that. I feel like a blast like that, Jinbei would be done.
She's been given a power up to where she can fight a goddamn warlord.
Yo, imagine if she hit that shit on Crocodile. Would Crocodile be able to walk away after that?
Hold on.
Crocodile ain't got no Haki. She could creep up on his ass and just drop it on this nigga. He ain't never gonna see the shit coming.
Drop what?
Crocodile.
Drop a Zeus level Thunderbolt, nigga. Feed that nigga about 30 black eggs.
Are you saying Nami wants
shit out of Crocodile?
So you're telling me Nami one-shots Crocodile now?
Interesting.
Oh no!
I'm asking y'all a question. I'm asking, do y'all think that big ass Thunderbolt would be enough to crack this shit out of Crocodile? If she Mirage Tempo and just dropped his ass?
No.
If it hits his real body, he's like pretty much done for, I think.
Shit.
So what's the limiter? What's the limiter on Nami? Where are we drawing the line? She's already taken out warlords.
Where are we drawing the line? A bunch of like thunderbolts.
I think it's situational. We can't give her a line. But Nami got a range of motherfuckers she could deal with. It just depends on how she deal with them. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
Because okay, fine. Let's go to the next tier. What is she doing to Cracker?
Like, how would the biscuit?
Before you answer this, think wisely.
No, I'm about to fix it. Look, listen. I think, to me personally, I think she should stop at commander level. But if she's in like a team thing, you know what I mean? And they're fighting the commander, and the commander's distracted, and she dropped that attack, that nigga's done.
Wow. Absolutely, good.
If you look at the Cracker fight, Luffy's fruit is like really unique, and there's not really many people that fight like him in the series, besides like punching and shit. So that's an example of where commander level fighters, or even just fighters in general, are experienced in terms of combat when they find new things. So I don't believe that Nami, in her lack of experience, just because she has one or two things that may be very valuable or hacks, maybe even powerful, could overwhelm or beat somebody at the end of the day as a final win, just because she has a strong attack. I think that we've seen plenty of people be able to overcome strong capabilities.
All right, so let me respond to that, right? So, yes and no. Okay, I agree that in terms of hand-to-hand skills, the fuck out of here. She's not the sort of traditional fighter that we think of and that we see in One Piece. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I think she does have experience. She's been a burglar for who knows how long. So she's adept to danger. She knows how to. She has a high. You know what I'm saying? She got a high evade rate. She knows how to hide her presence. All of that sort of basic shit and skill set that comes with being a burglar and a high skilled burglar on the Grand Line. You know what I mean?
If we want to use the anime, go ahead.
And when you think about her move set that she has now, with the Mirage tempos, with the electro clouds and the heat balls and all of that, and how she can create storms and generate wind and yada yada yada, that her experience as a burglar and her skills to hide her presence and essentially create an instantaneous attack as fast as elements, you know what I'm saying? Just the natural devastation, the natural forces of nature. That combination used right is a problem. And all I'm saying is that circumstantially, it takes one good strike for her.
I mean, like I said, it's not like we're not saying that the Zeus isn't strong. It's not like we're saying that she isn't capable of doing things. What I'm saying is that what's the point of going to the new world and fighting? What's the point of being in a new world for a long ass time? What's the point of fighting big name guys if you're just gonna get beat by a new person with a strong attack? We don't really see.
I mean, she's not. She's not. No, go ahead.
We don't really see many people getting hit by a king punch. You know, even though it's one of the greatest attacks possibly in the series, not many niggas have been heard of getting hit by it. So that's my exact same concept. She may be strong in terms of being able to produce certain attacks, hack shit, but I don't see Nami as a combatant. I mean, capacity.
I like to think, or an easy way, like I've been trying to dissect like just One Piece and like these sort of big scale crew v crew sort of situations. I kind of like to think of it like a party raid in an MMO. Like you have people that are your tanks. You got people that are all going to just launch heavy attacks and be the ones inflicting the most damage. Those are your Luffys, those are your Zoros, those are your Sanjis. But you're gonna have people that do critical strikes at moments of the great need. You know what I'm saying? They may be lobbing a couple ones and a couple twos, you know what I'm saying? And that's usually what they do. But once they hit that critical strike all of a sudden drops that boss from 99 to fucking 45, and now we're here. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I like to look at the Namis and the Usops. The skill set that they have around them and the sort of mobility that they have in that skill set makes them equally as dangerous in just a different way, because they are very situational and they're very support.
Yeah, I could agree with that. That was actually really well put.
Yeah, I know, motherfucker. I know how to speak English, nigga. Yeah.
Oh, you know words and letters and itch. Right.
That motherfucker speak.
Hey, welcome, J Hut. Finally, what's up, my guy?
What's up? Let me help with the confusion.
My nigga J Hut.
Hey, oh shit, he's in the spot.
Oh no.
Boy, Jay Hudson ain't even clocked out
Yo,
yet.
Dribble Pension wanna
You know what time it is.
Always at work, man.
Is this like, is this Ghetto Reverie part 2? Should I go get the bottle?
8 o'clock, man.
No.
The day's over. Go home.
It's like 6:32 here. It's cool.
Hey, so before
fault.
I move on to the next point, I want to talk about the aftermath of the Ghetto Reverie real quick, like
it's fuck
because
interesting.
niggas were hurting. All right, kids, don't do drugs and drink in moderation because good golly, Miss Molly.
I was telling Jay Hudson, like, it was funny because he had his camera on, so his face started off just real bright, you know what I'm saying, real alert, just kind of in the conversation, just going back and forth. And as the night went on, like, his eyes got a little low, and then he had this smile that just never left. Didn't matter what the fuck we was talking about, that nigga was smiling. You know?
Just pure elation.
Yeah, just kind of swinging occasionally from side to side. This shit was funny as hell to me. I would just occasionally put on the stream, and you would just see his face, just laughing and smiling.
Like I got a message. I got on Discord, and I'm talking to J Hut. I'm like, "Yo, man, how you doing this morning?" He's like, "Yo, Virgo, fuck you." I'm like, "Oh, okay." That's how you're doing.
Damn.
I was so mad. Nigga, I had a party to go to later on that night, and that shit went on for 7 hours, Chief.
Yikes. After you had already been drinking for 7 hours?
Yeah.
Jay Hudson was a soldier in there, man.
And mind you, it starts
He did his job.
because I'm 3 hours behind everybody. Everybody else was 10 a.m. for me. That bullshit.
Oh, man, that's absurd.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If I didn't have to work that day, I would have, well, probably been one of the first people in there too. I think y'all started a little under, right? Or did y'all have a full party as soon as it started?
Hold on,
I see. It looked like y'all were a little under.
There were mad niggas in there.
I think it was about 8 people.
We had 10 the entire 7 hours.
5, 6, 7.
Yeah, like there were mad niggas in there.
a little bit, and then it picked up.
It was like me, Eric,
7 people at
Senpai,
first.
Sensei, Dan, CGK, just a whole bunch of ignorant.
Yeah,
a whole bunch of ignorant. But moving on, I wanted to talk about I wanted to talk about some of the comedy that was in it. We got a couple of sugar faces, a couple of nail faces. The ninjas, I was like, are y'all really scared of Brook? Y'all really think that there's a ghost of Wano rolling through this mug?
It gets him every time. Like Brook is, yeah.
Yeah,
I got nothing to say about that.
And then you have what was going on basically in the attic or whatever you want to call that with Shinobu and Nami. And I actually laughed really hard at this entire scene.
Yeah, that shit was funny as fuck.
I was in tears. I was like, Oda's humor.
Yo, that shit was playing in my head.
I read it in the spoilers and it was cool, but like she really did look like Nami when she was out.
Yo, she was like, haha, so you remember of me? And he's like, oh wait, I got the wrong guy. I got the wrong girl. That shit was so funny.
Yo, when she bounced that ball to hit that
surprised you remember
like that, I was like, yo, she still got it.
She still got it.
Oh, but how about her ninjutsu, her secret technique? That was funny. She just punches them dead in the nuts.
Oh yeah, nuts. Yeah.
And that shit, like,
that shit.
And she's like, yeah, my jutsu worked. I'm like, this motherfucker right here.
I mean, how do y'all feel about like the ninjas or whatever that's guarding Oden? Like you
trash.
What? How? Yeah.
Wait, hold on now, Grim.
No. Go ahead.
The reason why I said trash is because of the designs. There's been a lot of characters in Wano that they either have like the Japanese aspect to it, which is pretty cool, or they're really, really gaggy. But we haven't really seen very many characters besides some of Kaido's guys that look like routinely cool or that like give that like powerful-esque vibe. So I'm still
like
waiting.
Drake in page 1.
Yeah, exactly. Page 1 in particular looks fucking amazing.
Wait a minute. Shoot Mari.
The ninjas are just gonna be like weak, super, super weak. But until I see something, they're trash me.
I think the nigga that looks like. Go ahead.
Honestly, if Robin did not have a clone, those ninjas clapped her up quick.
Okay, this is my thing. I had a bad first impression. Like, I saw them. Okay, these ninjas, where they come from? It was just like on sight. Boom, they're in your face. And then it's like, oh well, Robin's just on the loose already, and it's just like, wait, y'all really let it get away? All of y'all? What's going on? It was a bad impression for me. It's not that I expected more, but it's just like, okay, that doesn't look so good, and y'all just got here, you know.
I'm gonna guess it didn't help with them running from Brook either, huh?
That didn't help exactly.
I think the conehead, the nigga that looks like a conehead Virgo. I think he's probably strong. The other ones, I don't know.
That's for the conehead. What's up, Z-Boy?
What's up, bro?
Shit, chilling.
Oh, no, y'all let Z-Boy on the stream.
Can we talk about that Zoro shit? Because that shit was...
You hating, bro?
Go. Okay, lead it off, so.
Hey, man, what? So what Momonosuke said? What he said, smack or he said snatch?
Yeah, what does he say in the viz?
Yeah, snack, bro. Come on now.
What does he say in the viz?
Y'all think Zoro out here saying
what's up, Dribble?
When he swing a sword?
Yo, I really thought he was saying what the 5 niggas say to the face, man. Like, I thought niggas was like that.
I thought we didn't grew up in the world.
But that was interesting how that was seen as disrespectful.
Hey, my translation said,
I mean, if a nigga scream and smack at you, I'd be disrespected.
Oh yeah, about that. I feel like it's because like Wano probably has like their own like language or something, which I feel like could be like interesting, right? Because it's like when you think about it, they're their own country, so they should have like their own type of language. So
I feel like there's a bloodline in Wano that just was just like kind of like the Uchihas, you know what I mean? That was just kind of just grimy and dirty.
The viz says,
and they say shit like that.
You know real quick, the whole snatch thing. The viz says snatch. You know, that's what it says.
Yeah.
Because we get the
snatch.
the free visits there for you. So
Maybe it was seen as disrespectful because that's a word for pussy.
It may be. Oh my goodness! It may be like pronounced Sunach, maybe Sunach.
Yeah, sure. I ain't Japanese.
Nigga, all you did was say it differently.
I'm saying, like,
sure.
Yeah, no, we
Nigga
just
said
gonna call it snatch. Let's just call it snatch. Look,
This nigga said snot.
I just like that shit. So like, does that give a little bit more credibility about the Zoro Wano bloodline? He from there, yada yada.
I think they were hinting.
I don't like that. I just wanted him to be him.
From his master, Koshiro. Not
Zoro.
Koshiro, whatever. I can't remember his master's name.
Koshiro.
Koshiro.
Yeah.
You think Yoshiro told him that?
Yeah. 'Cause I think Koshiro might be.
I mean, look.
But some people think Mihawk
I think so too. No.
Hell no.
No.
Mihawk ain't going snatch.
Listen, Mihawk fans are gonna get mad at me, but Mihawk not the greatest swordman unless motherfuckers in Wano start talking about him real soon.
Okay, listen.
no.
Do not do this. Do not do this.
I'm serious. I'm super serious. How the fuck are we in the land of swordsmen and ain't none of these niggas talking about the world's greatest swordsman? Trash.
But Mo, shit ain't really hit the fan yet. You gotta give us some time. This is
I'm
Act
waiting.
2 ain't even over
I'll
yet.
let it play out, Eris. But when the arc is over and ain't none of them talk about Mihawk, he's not the world's greatest.
You know it's coming.
You sound like Rufy right now.
See, the only thing, like, so do you think that some of the older people that formed the alliance and stuff, do you think they'll ever bring up Mihawk?
The world's greatest swordsman is Shanks, man.
Like somebody's gonna bring it up eventually. The problem is in what context. Like somebody pointed out, like, sure, we just got into Wano, but it has been like, I want to say like 20 chapters, 15 chapters, right? Something like that. Yeah. That's a pretty long time to like not have a strong storyline built for Zoro.
Yeah, but he's doing something real interesting with Zoro, and I kind of like that.
I feel like this is going in the same direction we had yesterday. It's going, man. I'm be saying the same shit.
Because when Rufy was on stream, we had this debate again, and I really rather not go down this road.
Nah, but look, I do think at the end, like that, I think that snatch shit does give that Wano him from their theory just a little bit of room. Like they're not totally creditless when they say that in my mind now. It's just, how would he know that?
My thing about the whole snatch thing
it also says some shit.
We've been reading the story for like 20 years, like almost 1,000 chapters, and Zoro has never once said anything like that. So like,
not once.
Like I'm like, where did that come from?
We see him train in multiple arcs, and he never said snatch while you doing weights.
Exactly. Like, where did that come from?
You have to keep in mind, he did say, use this when you're in shortage of courage, and Zoro usually has that courage. It's usually always there, so he wouldn't necessarily need to say it unless he needs it. Courageous. Unless
I mean, if that's how you want to make it feel good, man, like fine.
I mean, that's what it says, though.
No, I got you, bro. Like I get it, but
you started a debate in the chat. Someone said Sam Som in the chat says snatch. By your logic, Kaido is not the world's strongest creature because the world is not talking about him being the strongest creature.
The world is talking about what the fuck are you talking about? The world is talking about him. He's the strongest. Are you fucking kidding me? There's a whole book about how he's the strongest creature.
Even another young
fuck out of here. They have a whole debate about the strongest creature and the strongest man.
And he's triggered.
Going back to Zoro real quick. Like people keep asking, like, is Zoro gonna have ties to Wano? Will he? Does this confirm it? But he already has a tie to Wano because he has Shisui, and he got the Thriller Bark a long time ago, and he made a quote from it. Sword is mine to keep, Samurai of Wano. The tie is already there. We know Ryuma was before him. We know he surpassed the Mihawk from the Vivre card Shanks. So the ties to Wano is already there. It's just got to get fleshed out.
He's not surpassing Shanks.
Check out the Vivre card. I'm telling you. Zoro's gonna be Whitebeard. Luffy's Roger.
Get out of here.
Saying in the future, okay. I'm just saying.
Stop it.
And y'all say
I know it's gonna be hard to take. I'm
That nigga trolling,
Talking about the little Ibisu smiling nigga about to take Zoro cheeks.
Oh no!
That's what needs to be.
Nah, listen,
Yo, I've been telling people that.
Zoro's charisma. He got people following him, man. They like this guy. They want to be
how
by him.
handsome you are.
Hey man, hey, take this water, man. Oh, we like you. Something about you.
No.
Bro, I love Twitter because they're like, yo, man, Zoro. They're like, Zoro's got a boyfriend. He's already calling him cute, and all this, and he's like, and then he takes it to a village where he's getting high with a bunch of hobos.
You called them hobos? Oh man.
He called them hobos.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Oh, ain't at the end of this chapter we saw
getting a train ran on him, and Sanji winning fights. I'm just saying.
Oh no.
Ain't at the end of the chapter we saw Big Mom and Chopper, right?
Yes.
I mean, Zoro and Luffy was fighting Hawkins, but you know.
Don't you mean Oden?
Look. I'ma say it again. I'ma just let it rock. You know what I mean? And I'ma see where it goes.
Trash soap, and you know it is.
Hey, Zeus gonna see Big Mom and be like,
because
Mama,
of
you're here.
what happened in 934, how it opens, you know what I'm saying? I'm okay. Because that means like he's moving. He's moving. You know what I'm saying? And I feel that. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't just leave that for like a good 10, 20 chapters. Like I thought that was my fear. That she was just gonna lose her mind, and then we was gonna see that shit for a while.
And in the very next chapter, she's got like literally like a backpack chopper.
Oh no.
Yeah, but at the same time, her crew is already all together, and they're like, damn, where is this bitch? I mean, they're arguing about shit, but where is this bitch?
She want that deer jerky. That reindeer.
And I feel like because he did that, like I feel like he don't want this bitch to stay with them for that long either. Like why? I don't know why they're heading to the prison, but
they're going to Udon. I don't know. Okay. Before we move on to talking about the prison, let's talk about how the Big Mom pirates are really tripping.
What you mean?
I don't know. I don't know how I felt about that conversation.
They're like stressed about Mama. At the same time, they don't give a fuck.
Because they know that she's fine. They saw her Vivi card, and they're like, man, it's gonna be a cold day in hell before any of them motherfuckers beat her. So like, they're really stressing it.
I feel like the fact that Oda made them have the conversation of who would be the captain after she gone in front of us, like that. Like that's weird.
Sparrow's wilding.
Yeah, of course he was
wilding. He's like, I'm the oldest.
He's right though. If like he would be the next captain, so like I can understand.
No, he would not be. Katakuri would be the next captain.
I don't know about that.
They all said it was multiple of them niggas that jumped out. They're like, nah, nigga, the fuck out of here. You ain't.
Yeah, they were like, back, Pearl Sparrow.
No, hold up. Daifuku said no, and then Smoothie said, get your shit together, because she damn sure knows it's not gonna be the Smoothie Pirates with her trash ass. That's why she said something. Like,
that's why she said it.
Pearl Sparrow. Listen, if it's hot, if it's too hot outside, that motherfucker's done.
Yeah, like literally.
He would not survive in Alabaster.
Yeah. That motherfucker is done. His arm will melt. Shit. Like now, think about it.
What is Katakuri doing when he gets locked inside a candy?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
what? He's not getting locked inside no candy. He's not getting locked in no candy. We've seen what Katakuri can do.
To answer you, Grim, he can use that grilled mochi shit.
The nigga Pearl Sparrow couldn't even defend himself against Pedro and some bombs and some dynamite.
What?
You think Katakuri getting caught up in an attack like that?
Oh no, Graham got smacked by that, and he took it point blank. Get out of here.
Do you think Katakuri is getting hurt by a suicide fucking cat? No. No, he's not losing an arm to that.
But you know that he moves his body around, right? If you sit Katakuri right next to a bomb, he's blowing up.
Okay, and the nigga could create candy in an instant. Why ain't he do that?
I don't know though, because Peril Sparrow, he's not candy itself. He just produces candy, but Katakuri is mochi, so he might not be.
Yeah, but Katakuri got the skills to evade that. It's not because he is special paramecia.
No, I'm just saying, like,
that's my argument. Like, he ain't got the skill to evade that shit in point blank range. Katakuri is seeing the nigga try to blow him up before he blows him up.
I understand that. Yeah, I'm just saying this hypothetically.
Did use it as the explosion went off. That's why he only lost the arm. So with Katakuri, it could be different.
Yeah, he'll die.
The fact that Peril Sparrow could not defend himself against Pedro the dying cat.
He did.
He did defend him.
Got the panels again? Big
he lost the arm, guy. No commander should get defeated by explosives ever. I'm sorry.
Wait, defeated?
Not defeated. Get hurt by one. Sorry.
Hey man, that wasn't just explosives though. That was dynamite.
I was like,
I'm sorry.
Is that Steve-O? What the hell?
That's dribble Kenshi.
That's a massive L,
Not
yo.
Steve-O, just sounded like Steve-O. Come on.
He's half basketball, half swords.
Come on.
Katakuri, that would never happen to Katakuri. And we're not going to disrespect Katakuri and act like he's not the better brother. Katakuri would beat Peril Sparrow ass.
Well, it's undeniable that Katakuri is the strongest, but is he a better leader? Hell no.
Yes.
Hell no.
How is he a better leader?
Like,
I mean, he cared about his brothers and sisters more than anybody, and all the motherfuckers needed some love, man. Cause
that nigga had one job. That nigga had one job. It was to kill Germa, and that nigga wanted to have an evil villain speech.
Okay.
I mean, but by that same logic, Katakuri thought he was ready to stab himself in the side in the middle of the fight.
Who was it?
I mean, the best leader. When we talk,
who was it?
Oh no, Grim, you're not finna do that.
No, let's not get cordial, bro. Like, let's not get unfactual in this conversation. We can be cordial, but like, don't tell me that because he was monologuing, he's trash. This nigga had a nigga suffocating with his own power.
Yeah.
See, look,
but he had an opportunity to kill them and chose to ramble instead.
Yeah, but what did Katakuri say? He said, "I'm not gonna underestimate you," and then he literally walks and underestimates the nigga, and eats 20 feet away. Come on.
Yeah, we can talk about shit Katakuri did all day.
Yes, Katakuri has done some incompetent things.
Listen, Katakuri put the pause on this nigga. That to me, all of the dumb shit he did before that don't matter. Because
let's keep it a book.
Hold on. At the end of the day, he was still on this nigga's ass, right? And then once he got this nigga in the middle world, nigga, it was go down or go home.
Yeah, he put the pause on him, but he put the spear to himself. He put the spear to himself, though.
Listen, I don't care. Peril Sparrow is not putting the pause on Luffy like Katakuri did. Hell no. Luffy had to struggle for that win. Struggle. We're not going to downplay this nigga. You wanted facts. Let's not act like Katakuri did not put the pause on this nigga. Peril Sparrow is not getting nowhere near the amount of ass whooping that Katakuri did to Luffy. Nowhere near that.
Well, as we read in the chapter, it's not all about strength. It's about leadership as well.
Exactly.
See, the thing about Peril Sparrow, though, like, he's so focused on his Broadway career that he probably ain't worried about that. That's why he always sing all the time.
Oh, the best leader. The best leader of Big Mom Paris is probably Streusen, like leader-wise.
What the fuck is Streusen do? That a serious statement?
But some people think that he kind of leaves behind the scenes anyway.
What?
She raised Big Mom, so he got a little bit of clout to him. Like,
there wouldn't be no fucking pirate crew if it wasn't for Streusen, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact. Like, we can't.
I'm talking about leadership. I'm not talking about power. I'm talking about leadership.
I mean, he had to guide that strong bitch. Are you serious?
And leadership wise, I think that Oven did a great job.
I think
Oven. If you look at Oven in the anime, he's the MVP. Like, Katakuri was dope, but no, he's not.
Yes,
no,
he's not. He doesn't really like he's strong. He's obviously the strongest, but as far as like leadership, he doesn't really do much more than the others. Like again, Oven, Paris Sparrow, even Mondor showed more authority.
He don't do much more than the others. He proposed on niggas.
He's not even
Like,
He
there.
put paws on niggas. He do
Katakuri's
his
the guard
job.
dog. He's the attack dog, but he's not
He
the
do
leader.
his job. When they need help, who do they call? Big brother Katakuri. They not calling Pharaoh Sparrow.
They call him because he's strong. They're not calling him because of like.
That's all he need. They can do everything else. Right? He's the captain because he's strong.
I actually got proof. So if we look at every other captain, including Buggy, we've seen, and we can take out like the fodder guys if we want to. But all of the captains we've seen have had connections with others, or connections with some type of business or some kind of setup. Whether it's Luffy with all his friends, whether it's Buggy with his connections to Shanks and the Roger Pirates and all his own pirate crew, whether it's Big Mom with her connection with the Rocks Pirates and other connections that she has with everybody, whether it's Caesar, all the different underground places, Fishman Island, all the leaders of captain crews that are significant have had the ability to negotiate or have had the ability to have connections outside of their crew to make things happen for themselves, so they don't need an essential individual. Katakuri, as far as we know, is an introvert who doesn't talk to anybody, who can't handle relationships that well, and he's never on the island in terms of getting shit done for his people, his family, aside from the missions that Big Mom might assign to him. So I have reason to believe that in terms of leading an organization to success that's not mapped out, that he has the ability to do that. He can only follow orders.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, let's look at the Straw Hats though and how they're set up. Like, for example, sometimes Sanji is kind of in that captain role, sometimes Zoro to a certain extent. Like, do they have connections like that? I mean, does that disqualify them for being leaders?
Well, that's exactly how you said it. They have connections for that. They would technically be better captains than Katakuri would be.
Well, I'm saying, what kind of connections do they have, though? I mean, because Sanji doesn't really mess with his family, so you can't really count Germa like that. And then Zoro, like, he doesn't really have a past to what we know so far. So, I mean, I don't know.
Look, the point. Look,
okay.
Listen, there are prime examples, the Straw Hats included, of the captain just being strong and people under them handling everything else. Kaido, strong as fuck. Everyone under him handling everything else. Luffy, strong. Literally everyone doing everything else. You know what I'm saying? He just says yes or no.
They both have
it keeps going. It just keeps going. If you look at even the negotiations, the reason why Luffy in Whole Cake Island made that deal with Capone was because Jinbei already had reached out to that nigga and set the whole shit up. Jinbei was the one that was doing the negotiations, not Luffy. You know what I'm saying? So the idea that Katakuri needs to be this master person, he can do exactly what Luffy and Kaido and others are doing, and just being the strong force that they need when they're in critical moments. But when it comes to the daily things, like maintaining a territory, they can just delegate. Like, it's not like Cracker, Smoothie, Oven, Daifuku, and all of them other niggas are so trash that they can't handle that.
In both of the examples that you mentioned, or the only two examples that you mentioned besides before saying etc., those are the ones that we can directly address as having previous connections or having strong connections in the current world that they themselves set up. Luffy is known as his greatest power as being the ability to set up connections, the ability to unify different peoples and get things done. He not only negotiated there on Whole Cake because of the assistance of Jinbei, but in Fishman Island, he also seeked out the assistance of other people. He often negotiates with different groups, whether it's Robin after the fact, which whenever we left the Alabasta situation, whether it's helping Vivi out during that same exact time period, whether it's getting to Rebecca and getting to that point, whether it's Law's proposal for the Alliance, even before that in Saboti, when niggas had to get shit out, even in Import Down, all the union of people that sure they had to incite ideas into him, like, oh, hey, let's work with Crocodile. Free him, we can take care of him, like Ivankov said. But it's all been connections. That's what we're talking about. The ability to establish connections and make your journey as a captain, as a crew, progress forward without a map is something that both Kaido as a Yonko, by proof as a Yonko, the definition means that by gaining territory, that's what he is, and then Luffy with his entire alliance signifies that as well. Those are connections.
Usopp got that alliance for him. Like,
when it comes to Katakuri and leadership, obviously, I think he could do it because we got to remember he's super charismatic, and along with that, like you guys keep saying he's strong, but like Katakuri's like really strong. Like he has a.
What's up, Madara?
Like he's the strongest on that crew. Besides Big Mom,
another
hands
thing.
down.
There's another thing that I factor in is he's honorable. People fuck with honorable people. Sengoku honored Whitebeard. They honored each other. They respected each other. It's not like he's an honorless guy.
Look, let's be real.
Additionally, with his weakness with his face, that shit about to be under the rug. He's not gonna have that weakness anymore.
Yeah,
he's essentially not gonna have it, especially like if he doesn't wear the mask anymore, because we saw his face, and that's how Luffy figured out how to win. What if that's not the way to beat him anymore? He just gets even stronger.
That weakness is bullcrap.
I'm gonna use that point against you because yes, Katakuri is the meat, like the strong of the crew, but like again, like we see from the flashback and just how he acts. Grim is right; he's not a social person. So he who's to say he even wants to become captain?
Give a fuck. All he has to do is maintain. He don't have to do shit. It's not like he has to go and get more territory.
Whether he's social or not, he's still charismatic. And when you're charismatic, you can alert people.
We're not going to sit here and act. We're not going to sit here and act like
you can say he's not social. He still had that conversation with Luffy. They were social throughout the whole fight, and they understood.
Look. Regardless of that, we're not going to sit here and act like the people in that crew, the family of Big Mom, don't look at Katakuri like this nigga's a fucking superhero. This is the nigga that came out the pussy standing up, ain't never been that nigga. You know what I mean?
I think the problem is
hold on. So to them, to the story, everyone except Perospero, it's a duh that Katakuri's the captain.
I mean, again, the point I was trying to make is that yes, he can do what he can do in the role he's in right now. Like if there's for instance, so who should be captain? I nominate Katakuri. Like, you know what? Katakuri says, well, I can do what I do as a captain now, protect my family. I don't need to be the captain. Like, there's no indication that Katakuri wants that clout. He just wants to protect his family.
He would be the fucking captain. Are you fucking serious?
He would not be the captain.
It sounds like you guys don't think he's capable of being sometimes it sounds like you guys don't think he's capable of being a captain.
That's not what we're saying.
What else you need to be a captain besides being fucking strong? You can be a jackass and be captain.
I think he can be a captain. I mean, I think he'd be all right.
You guys brought up relationships.
Like all of this negotiations and shit and all of that. We've seen one negotiation.
Keep bringing up.
We've seen three negotiations, and that's it.
Like you guys are
right.
But the thing is, I think y'all putting too much.
We can't all talk at the same time because there are people listening.
I mean, Most, you gotta stop talking when I'm talking, man. You just gotta wait, and then you can go.
Look, I'm just saying, the first negotiation we seen was Luffy and Law. Nigga scratched his ass and said yes, and no doubt about it, no question, no hesitation. It was done. Second negotiation we see is Kid and yada yada yada, and Kid's about to fuck them up because them niggas is arguing, and then Killer make the shit happen. And then third is Capone because of Jinbei, and all of those situations. Act like Katakuri can't just sit there and say yes or no and whoop ass when he need to, and shit won't be okay.
You asked, I think Arius mentioned a few seconds ago that it sounds like we don't think that he can do it. That's not what we're saying. He obviously, just like So pointed out, that there are certain minimal requirements that sure, almost anybody who's capable, mentally capable, can fulfill. But we're talking about the intuitiveness to get the things done on their own. We're talking about the intuitiveness to be the best.
None of these niggas do that shit on their own.
Come on, bro.
Okay, so you guys don't think Katakuri can get allies on his own?
Yo, man.
No, I don't think so. I think Katakuri has charisma, but I don't think he still has a bunch of charisma.
I mean,
he's got a bunch of
he saw through the whole arc.
Hold up. I don't think it's really.
What's up, Madara?
My big brother. We saw the whole arc.
Are you gonna
moderate him being charisma? That's them looking up to their big brother. Who we see that in the arc.
It all depends on what stock of a captain that you think he should be, because there are extreme differences between each captain. Bartolomeo is a joke. His whole crew is a joke, but he's a captain.
He got his job done.
You know, he got his job done. Look
at look at Blackbeard. Blackbeard is the type of guy where you
elaborate like a motherfucker.
Total freedom on his ship as long as you do whatever he says. He don't care. But then you have people who live by a code, Whitebeard. You can do whatever you want, but if you mess with each other, we're gonna have a problem. Then you got Luffy. He just wants you because he really picked his crew because of what? He picked Zoro because Zoro was strong. He picked Nami because she was a navigator. He picked Usopp because he was a marksman. He picked Sanji because he could cook. That was it. And he's literally said that the reason why he got those roles because he can't do anything outside of those roles. He can't navigate. He can't cook. He's not a marksman. To be the Pirate King. Exactly. He's not a swordsman. So he needs all those people in order to be king of the pirates. And that's how Luffy governs. He really doesn't govern at all. If you look at the person who takes care of
his crew.
Exactly. The person who takes care of all the day-to-day tasks on the ship is Nami. But even Nami wouldn't be considered first mate. Zoro
and the Phantom Troop.
Hey, but one thing about it though, that's kind of like the definition of being a boss right there.
But exactly, so Luffy is not a really by definition. Luffy's not a captain. He's a boss.
The standards that Guns applying, hell no, he's not no captain.
Exactly, but at the end of the day, once Luffy makes an order call, what does everybody do?
It's done.
Yes, sir.
Captain's orders.
Exactly, captain's orders.
I'll leave the crew. That's what they do.
So,
chill, Harris.
Can Katakuri be the captain? Yes, he can be the captain. But can he also decline being captain? Of course.
Well, I don't think he would decline being captain.
But I think we've beat that horse quite a bit.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about Udon. I've been waiting to talk about Udon a lot. We're down there.
Okay.
So first I want to talk about Hio, Grandpa Hio, because he actually was the former Yakuza boss.
Yep.
Which is crazy. So what happened that he got exiled and Koshiro took over?
I mean,
Hio Goro? Right. Hio. Right.
I would say his waves are old and archaic, and it wasn't what people were looking for. They were looking for strength. And
as a leader.
That's where Koshiro came in at. Maybe crap was going down in Wano to where it was starting to look weak, and people started placing blame and laying it at his feet. And then Koshiro came up and was like, "I'll take care of it. I'll straighten it out." And now you see how much respect everybody has for Koshiro. They probably just lost respect for Grandpa Hio, just like Ashura Doji lost respect for all the samurai after Oden died.
Yeah.
I think a little different, like you said, because he wasn't strong enough in a sense. I think he was strong in terms of like his position, because obviously being a Yakuza leader, you're
and
strong.
His convictions.
And I think I see it more of a statement, because there's been layers of evidence. So this Yakuza guy, he had a name, and we didn't even know that was him. And that's the name of the chapter. It's him, and he's in there.
Yeah, the chapter is him.
He's in prison. Yeah. He's in the prison, and this dude has a name. Look what he was. Obviously, he was in a position of power, but it's a statement because they have him in that prison along with, guess who? The guy, we don't even know who he is, but he's a monster. He's shooting fish bones at people. We don't even know this guy yet, but they apprehended him.
Yeah.
Kaido, like, these guys are in this prison. Additionally, earlier in this arc, they said something like an Udon, you don't get out. Kinda, it gave me like Impel Down flashbacks, because it's like, oh shit, you don't get out of Udon? Like they said that a few chapters ago.
Unless you bend the knee, you don't get out.
Unless your name is Eustace Kid.
And then this guy Kid, he gets out too. So it's like, and one more thing, they keep throwing this thing out like, yo, we're gonna cut your arm. They keep throwing this. It's coming back over and over and over again. Like somebody's gonna lose their arm. Like it might seem like all flowers now, it's a gag, but some crazy shit is gonna happen when it comes to like that prison. It's gonna tie into that prison.
Like all of this shit is built into something. Like, I mean, I thought.
Oh, we gotta remember, Luffy got in there. He actually got one shot and got put in there. That prison's a statement. Like,
I think that thing about Hio, like, that's a really good point. I didn't think about it that way, but I thought he was just like, I thought at the time that he was put in prison, that he was probably at an age where he couldn't physically fight back. You know what I mean? Like, so I thought.
Yeah, that's why I said it was more of a
but it seemed like the impression that I got that Koshiro and his relationship is still very like it's still good. Like I think he still thinks highly of his master, and like it, kind of has those same sentiments and stuff, but it's just kind of keeping it wrapped up to do what he has to do. You know what I mean? That's the impression I got. Like, yeah.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, I mean, you can take it really a myriad of ways. You can either take it like, okay, one, we have to hear how old Koshiro is. Because if he was around 20 years ago, then I would think that he just overpowered Hyoguro. Because Oda has always said that older people still retain their strength throughout the series. That's why Whitebeard was still the strongest man in the world. That's why Kaido, even though he's probably like, 40 or 50, he's still the strongest creature alive.
Yeah, Katakuri, he was like 45.
Exactly. Katakuri, Big Mom, look at her, 68, and is still a beast. And so he basically has always said that older people retain their strength. So my point is that if Koshiro is now the boss, I would think that Koshiro probably beat him in combat. And that's why Hyoguro was in prison. And so that would either be a testament to how strong Koshiro is, or it might be a Rayleigh effect that Rayleigh is strong, but he gets gassed kind of fast.
Yeah, we need to know what happened.
Oh.
No, go ahead.
So what I kind of think happened is like Koshiro, he had to defeat the Yakuza so that way he could fake Oden's death. Like we know that like the ninjutsu and everything like that, they have like different jutsus to make you look like other people, at least like in Naruto. They seem to be kind of basing some of their jutsus off that. So I think what he had to do, he had to beat the old Yakuza boss and then take over and then form a coup against Oden and then fake Oden's death in order to beat Kaido later. That's who they have like in the cage because Kaido wouldn't want to kill him. They want to make him his servant.
Yeah, and he only wants strong people.
Strong people. Yeah, I've actually heard that theory before that is Oden in the cage. And it's not this Rock's captain, but it's actually Oden.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not Oden, but it might be. I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, because the thing about it is this: is that Orochi is so sure that he saw Oden die in front of him, right? We know Oda likes to break our ankles. He likes to do it a lot.
That would be. I feel like that would be.
I was gonna ask y'all about that too. Like, if y'all thinking the Oridon is dead for real, or she's just not like.
Oiran, nah, she ain't dead, man. That's
who's that?
That's fake news. Komurasaki is what he's talking about.
Oh no.
She
ain't dead.
Yeah,
that's fake news.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. So also with the escape of Eustace Kid, we also have the arrival of Queen.
Oh yeah.
Oda with the skip no me.
I mean, there's been a hyper debate about Queen v Luffy.
I was saying
it use its legs, right?
I thought Queen was a girl at first. Anyway.
Nope.
I gotta say, I'm a little bit upset. I'd be a little bit upset if Luffy defeats Queen with handcuffs on.
I wouldn't.
I'm not gonna lie. I'd be mad.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't be mad. I would flex
just be like, hey, Jack over Queen.
It feel like the Katakuri shit was worth it. That's what I would feel like.
Because
to that extent.
How was Luffy going to beat Kaido? How was Luffy going to beat Kaido if Kaido one-shot him?
Did you see what Oda said about Katakuri? Katakuri is one of the strongest characters in the series, period. So to have and we saw what he went through, both in the manga and in the anime. The anime doubled down. That's what that shit was like.
He took
So to go,
I know. So we saw all of that.
Hold on. To go through all of that and to only grow minimally would be a gross disservice to what the fuck that shit was and the impact that shit had. Like,
then the very next arc, we saw him get one shot.
Hold on. Real quick. Who actually thinks Luffy's gonna beat Queen?
I do.
With the cuffs on.
With the cuffs on.
With the cuffs on, I don't know. With the cuffs on, I don't know.
Do a name bet on this.
I think he'll hit him with a couple of weaves. But I don't know if he'll beat him with handcuffs on. I'm not.
Honestly, if he's supposed to pose any type of chance, if he's supposed to pose any type of threat to Kaido by the end of this arc,
that's a high ass bar, Madara.
He would have to beat Queen with the cuffs on. He would have to.
That's a high ass bar. That's a high ass bar. That's a high ass bar.
Get this nigga out of here.
Did you see what Kaido did to Luffy? Did you see what he did to Luffy?
Wait. Listen,
he one-shot him.
You know, you have a point, but I don't.
He one-shot him.
I don't know what you want me to. I don't know how you want me to.
And he got a mace.
Madara, I don't know what you want us to say, man. We agree with you. Like Luffy does need something, but for him to beat this nigga with sea stone cuffs on,
I understand, bro. But I'm saying for the leap.
Come on, my guy. Do you think Goldie Roger can do that? Do you think Whitebeard can do that?
I know, bro, but I'm saying for the leap in logic for Luffy to suddenly be able to beat this guy Kaido.
That's ridiculous.
By the end of this arc.
Well,
it wouldn't make any sense.
Let's
it wouldn't make any sense.
No, how about we don't know how it's gonna happen, but we know we know he got multiple forms. Let's see what happens, man.
Bro, it would be bullcrap.
I'm just saying.
It would be bull.
No, we don't. How we calling something bullcrap when we ain't seen it?
I'm saying,
Madara. Hold on. Let me check.
We ain't seen it yet.
He literally This is the guy that just beat Katakuri, right? This is the guy that just beat Katakuri and got one-shotted, got speed blitzed. In his ultimate
in my opinion, what did you expect?
And that's what I'm saying. So you expect that the Luffy that we just saw get one shot is suddenly going to be able to magically beat Kaido?
Listen, bro.
That makes no sense.
Listen, bro. Let's be real. This is One Piece, okay?
I know it is.
So when I see him get one shot by Kaido, whatever is happening now, I know that Katakuri shit is going to come into play. I think that if we see that his weave game has increased, that to me shows good progression, sufficient progression to be like, okay, there's something there that Oda's going to work with later down the line to sort of bridge this gap between him and Kaido. But how the conditions of how that fight goes and what Luffy has in his arsenal is still up for debate. And I'm not going to sit here and say, just because he got one shot, that now he needs to, while incredibly nerved, whoop a second commander's ass.
Bro, I'm saying, when we take into account, even when Luffy got the observation upgrade against Katakuri, right? He got the upgrade. But what did he actually beat Katakuri with? With speed. That's what he beat him with. It didn't matter about his observation hockey.
Madara.
That he got faster.
Madara, hold on. I want you to understand what you're telling me. Not only is Luffy weakened, but you're telling me that he's about to defeat a commander without his devil fruit?
It's going to be a heck of a fight. It's going to be a heck of a fight.
That's crazy.
But he still has
blasphemy.
He still has Haki.
Oh, my bad.
He can use Haki.
The Haki
He
or
can
the
still use Haki.
Haki too, bro.
I understand that. But I'm expecting Oda to give Luffy an armament Haki boost in this arc. That's what I'm expecting.
This is what's going to happen. No, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen.
It would have to.
Hold on.
This is what's going to happen.
So you think he's going to fight Queen and he'll have the armament boost when the fight's over?
Kid's going to show up and he's going to help Luffy. Kid's going to show up. He's going to help Luffy, and they're going to go 2v1. But honestly, I think Queen be raping niggas up in that prison.
Wow.
Oh my God.
You think Kid's gonna come back and free Luffy?
Somebody else said that to me. I think Wallow said that shit to me too, bro. Like
our brands are working totally differently. Like,
I don't think Kid's coming back. That's just me. Could he come back? Of course. And let's say halfway through the fight, Raizo comes in with the key and unlocks Luffy's cuffs. Cool. But I'm just saying, for the leap in ability for Luffy to go from getting one shot hit by a Yonko to be able to combat that Yonko by the end of the arc without something drastically happening for him, it just wouldn't make any sense, man. It literally wouldn't make any sense.
Yo, bro, you know what you're reading, man. You should know when you get one shot that he's gonna somehow, some way, there's gonna be a way that he take him down. You know what I mean? But you're giving him a bar you know he's not gonna reach.
By the way,
You know
don't
you're
forget
not
that
gonna reach him, and then you're gonna be like, "You
Big Mom
trash."
in prison right now, so that could be a thing too. Could be Queen versus Big Mom.
I mean, that's bullshit.
Yeah,
Please don't say that.
That's true, but I expect Big Mom.
I mean, she doesn't have Zeus or Prometheus.
But she
doesn't matter, man. She can't be damaged supposedly unless
exactly. I'm expecting her to create the distraction for Raizo to get the key to unlock Luffy's cuffs. That's
nah, because they ain't even going towards the thing yet.
But you believe, Madara, you believe that if Luffy ain't got the cuffs on, he's fucking Queen up, right?
No. I'm saying if Oda wants to make it, if Luffy keeps those cuffs on and he ends up fighting Queen, he either has to get away from Queen with the cuffs on, which really wouldn't make any sense.
Why wouldn't it? The nigga's in a wheelchair.
I mean, the nigga's been lifting boulders and shit. We saw him running around.
Yo, that's what it is. You know how y'all always saying someone missed an arm, whatever? Queen probably fucked up and Kaido took his arm. That's probably why it's such a threat.
Yo, Queen busting them cheeks.
Yo, so he took his arm and his legs? And that's why he
I don't know if the nigga ain't got no legs.
Hey man,
maybe taking someone's arm is like a power up. You know what I mean?
That makes more sense. That makes more sense because we know how Kaido acquires his crew. But if we say that Queen got broken and it took a while to even chopped his arm off, it's like, who the fuck? Like, how did they start off with that shit initially? That's why it's kind of not the case because it's like Kaido just by himself forced the niggas, and he had his own jail, not even on Wano, because he was on Wano. Queen was on Wano. We saw the flashback,
Yeah.
Like, they can't be set up on Wano when they weren't even at Wano yet, unless Kaido just had jail cells somewhere else, just breaking niggas, breaking their spirits.
Freaky body ass got jail cells everywhere.
I'm just saying.
Fuck, is this a rave?
I know Jack got all his limbs. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying, like, just because Queen didn't feel like walking into the prison, y'all gonna stop saying he can't use his legs. Like, that's what y'all gonna do right now.
Look how fat Astro big ass.
Listen,
I just figured it out.
It seems like all the faders on Wano don't walk nowhere. You know what I mean? Like, none of these niggas walk nowhere.
The only reason Luffy is going to defeat Queen with sea stone cuffs on is because that nigga's a gimp.
Not only does he not, his legs don't work. People think he got 6 legs. They think he a scorpion. What is wrong with people?
He is scorpion, dude.
He ain't no damn scorpion.
The nigga pulled up in a Stephen Hawking's wheelchair.
Oh no!
Oda knows y'all posted 1,000 scorpion theories on Queen. That nigga ain't no damn scorpion.
I'm telling you, man.
Y'all think Oda don't be
model.
watching this shit? His editors be like, yo, this nigga Roger, man, he did the shit again, dog. We gotta switch it up. All right.
Hey, remember when Roger thought Snake Man was he gonna use his tongue to sense niggas?
Oh my!
Oh yeah, he's gonna shoot venom or some shit like that. I remember that shit.
I feel like Roger never hits this serious. Me or what?
Hey, I like Roger, man, but that ain't it, Chief.
That was really bad.
That's hilarious.
Creative, I guess. Like, bruh.
Hey, ACB got a chill in the chat, man. He said, "Kid not coming back to save shit. Kid, the new main character." And then he said,
"Yo, that'd be wild, though."
Then he said, "Hey, bro, Virgo keep using these phrases. He's gonna get flagged." All I said was "gimp."
Oh man,
damn.
Yeah, they own you now. They said, "Oh, Virgo, he coming up. He got 500 subs. Yeah, let's strike him down, boys. It's time. It's a great purge is necessary. We need a great cleansing."
Oh no!
Oh, Roger, shout out Red Force. Oh,
if
time
Sam
to purge.
is back, my bad.
Time to purge, boys.
Yikes. I also wanted to talk about we didn't talk about Sanji, Law, Usopp, and Frankie's interaction. But before I get to that, so page 1 was off screen.
That's right.
As he should be.
Oh my god.
As he should be.
That was horrible.
Not important enough.
I'm thoroughly upset.
I'm kind of crazy.
Yo, that made me drop.
The anime gonna show more.
That made me drop one.
We saw what we needed to see.
Yeah, the anime.
We saw a little glimpse of the raid suit, and that nigga page 1 got his ass worked.
Yeah, and Sanji was looking clean afterwards. No broken bones, not a
scratch on him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Whistling having tea with his niggas. That means that he whooped Page One's like no problem. No problem.
Oh, that just reminded me. So, hey, Twale, if you watching this, nigga, you owe me a name bet for a week. I ain't
Twale.
Yeah, I just remembered.
Yeah, I mean,
After
I'm not
that-
really.
after that,
That was
I'm
the
not
worst
decided
person
to
to
take a break.
motherfucking make a name bet with. He ain't
I know
never
that
on this
nigga was
course.
back for like 2 weeks and then he was gone again.
Yeah, see, I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not really bothered by the raid suit stuff because I know we're gonna see it when Sanji actually gets his opponent during the actual Fire Festival. I mean, it's still 9 days. That means that he has time for Frankie and Usopp to give it a quick look over, so that way they could come up with possible upgrades for him. The crap
Which
I'm
is
getting
cool.
tired. The crap I'm getting tired of Oda skipping and stuff that he didn't use to like actually skip. Now we're skipping the jump.
Yeah.
We don't get to see Kid break out. Freaking Robin finds out all of this information.
All of this shit.
How? We
I mean,
we saw what Robin did in Skypiea. We actually saw her whole adventure in Skypiea with her walking around and finding out junk. And now we're just getting told what she did. We're getting told Zoro beat up all of these Yakuza dudes. We don't get to see it. We just get told that it happens. Like, I'm getting tired of that junk. Stop telling me junk and show it.
Man, you gotta use your imagination, man.
It's a consequence
But do you
of
need to
having
see
so many
Zoro,
people in one place. Like, he cannot show us everything at one time.
Zoro
That would
cutting
be
up powder,
ludicrous.
though?
Hey, hold
If
on.
he
In the
did,
chat,
we would be
Randy tell that.
complaining about how this shit is too slow.
Hey, in the chat, Randy tell that says Sanji kicked Page One, went invisible, and walked away.
Oh man.
That'd be
All
kinda
it
fun.
took was one kick.
Yeah, he really did.
That'd
He
be
dropped
kinda
down
fun.
from the heavens. Came down like a comet.
He
on
really
the
did.
nigga's head.
He legitimately came down and kicked Page One after he jumped off Skypiea.
Yeah.
He did an axe kick on the top of his head.
I wonder if
That's
he could do Diamble Jambe in that motherfucker. That's what I need to know.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah, if
I
he
think-
can, he
I think the modifications are gonna help.
Zoro to hide if he can. So that's good. That'd be good to know.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I
and
wanna
right
see
now
what that
Frankie
shit-
and Usopp are currently making modifications on the fucking raid suit.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought about that. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they are. I really want to understand why every headliner seems to just be trash.
I mean,
Yeah,
They're
I
not
feel you on that.
trash.
Yeah, I don't
They're
know.
not
Page One's not
trash.
They're
trash,
not-
though.
yeah, the
They're
Straw
not
Hats are
trash.
just that strong.
Yo, wait for our poo to come
Yeah.
on, my nigga.
I
That's
don't know.
just-
It
that's
might
just
just
the-
be.
But
What's
they're
up,
about to have
EOS?
a-
Hold on, my nigga.
shit's about to get real. Like the fact that all of these parties are here, like this is all. This is nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like this is
We get
not. This ain't
introduced.
shit.
We get introduced to what we was told are the stronger headliners, and it was easily a low diff.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but
feel that. I've been feeling like that since the beginning. Like
because
they
we
don't seem
minimize
to
how
hold
strong the
on.
Straw Hats are. Like
don't we respect Sanji enough to the point where we already knew he was gonna fight? You know, essentially the third
I
strongest,
did.
because that's how it always goes.
Yeah, I did too. Like,
Hold on a second.
And
So
we know that's Drake.
y'all
though.
saying
I
the top
respect Sanji.
Hold on, and that's prior to the raid suit. He has the raid suit, and he fights somebody who's lesser than the top three.
Exactly.
Wait, are y'all saying this
So-
is gonna be like Fishman Island art for the Straw Hats, where they're just gonna have their way, like with
Fishman
everything?
Island art?
No,
but if it's against
no,
these
nigga.
guys,
No.
people of this caliber, yes,
No,
yes,
I mean,
because
that-
the monster trio is up now. They're
I'm saying that this is a
not down
precursor.
there
Like
anymore.
I'm saying Oda's using this as a way to introduce these people. Some of them are going to get their ass whooped initially, but when the time comes and they're ready to attack, that everything's going to be different because of how many people are actually involved. It's not just going to be Kaido and Luffy and them. We got Kaido, Big Mom, the Marines. All of these niggas are going to be here. When that time comes, it's not going to be the same bullshit that we're seeing.
Yeah, but I'm just waiting to see an actual worthy samurai besides Koshiro.
I understand that, but
What do you mean?
Because I haven't seen
what did Koshiro really do? I mean,
Koshiro hasn't done anything yet. Like that's
Well,
what.
I mean, and that's even worse because one, we have freaking Akainu saying, "Oh, we can't go to Wano because of their unknown
Kizaru was ready to pull up.
swordsmanship
Hey,
with the
but that boy
samurai."
Kizaru was ready, though.
And then we
That's how
freaking
Kizaru
get
was
here,
ready.
and then we
That
get to
actually show you
Wano.
who's the superior one.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we get to Wano, and the only competent samurai that we've seen, to y'all's point, is freaking Ashura Doji.
No,
That's
not
it.
even. I'm sure Doji fought equally with the dude. Unless you're gonna say that's like cool.
But
like,
I'm saying, because he.
I mean, like we just got here.
That's what I'm
Like I don't know what to tell you. Like we just got here. Like,
I mean, Soap said it earlier. Apparently, losing limbs make you stronger. So,
no, that's a fact. Look at Shanks, man. Ain't like
make it real. Like,
who's this new guy that sounds like that? What the hell?
What, EOS?
Yeah, who's this EOS guy?
Yo, Aaron, you need to stop playing, my nigga.
Aaron. Who's that?
That's Super Ricky Bartolomeo. Anyway.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, how about we talk about Apu being a flying fighter?
Wait,
it's
what?
It's not confirmed.
He's not a flying six.
No, he's a higher rank.
No, that's not confirmed.
He's a higher rank. He's a higher rank than Drake. I think y'all that's not ready.
How is he a higher rank?
But how do we feel about Drake being a calamity, bro? Drake's a calamity, bro.
He's a higher rank.
Y'all remember niggas used to say that?
He's the
Y'all
CIT.
not ready, bro.
Right. Y'all niggas keep sleeping on our pool, my nigga. I'm trying to tell you.
He's just not a six, though.
I'm just saying.
Apu might be one of the flying six.
Hold on. One thing
he might
about
be.
Apu, if he is a flying fighter, it makes Hawkins look trash.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why would Hawkins not be?
I'm trying to tell you, Apu had the greatest growth.
Oh, so now niggas want to say Hawkins is trash, huh?
Yo, that's my problem. Every time
No, I said if he is, it's gonna make him look. It's gonna make him look pretty trash because.
Hey, for any of y'all, any of you in the chat, and hold on,
trash. I'm on y'all bumper.
For any of y'all in the chat and in the call, if any of y'all watch DBZ Abridged, Hawkins legitimately needs to go through the Piccolo training and just like dodge.
Oh man!
I don't know why Apu being good makes Hawkins look trash. Though. I don't get that.
Because like, why would Hawkins not be a flying six?
Listen, I've been said he
better
was
than
trash.
him.
So.
Like what?
Hey,
why can Apu
obviously did do some
obviously
time at Sabondi, so.
Those guys being supernovas, we're constantly
What do you
scaling
mean
them to see who's the
when you run
strongest, who's
against
the
Udon?
weakest. So if we have two supernovas who made that flying fighter list, Hawkins on the same crew, you know, that guy joined the same time. If he's not there, but Apu and Hawkins, you know, they join at the same time. So if he's not, it's gonna make him look bad.
I'm just saying, it could just be that Apu's just better than them niggas, but I don't know why y'all don't want to accept it. I don't know.
I mean, it may not be that he's necessarily better. His devil fruit might be.
No, it
like
definitely means he's better. No, it definitely means he's better.
No, we're not saying they're both trash, but Hawkins is more trash. We're just saying, like I'm just saying, it's just a bad look for Hawkins, obviously for obvious reasons.
Yeah, obviously.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
On Drake, to be honest, I just think Drake's been there longer, so he has more accomplishments under his belt. That's why he's up there.
I mean, but before we saw Apu talk about Lord Kaido, so it's very possible they've both been there longer than Hawkins.
How could they be there longer than Hawkins when, like, I'm making an assumption here. They all joined when well, not Drake, but when Kaido busted those niggas at the island. I assume, like, you know, Drake. I mean, Hawkins.
I'm not of the belief that they joined. I think Apu might have been with him before that.
No, I don't think so.
Like, kind of like.
Nah, I don't think Apu was with. Yeah.
They could have, because remember he had to break everyone's spirit, so they could have just broke at different times.
Yeah.
And you can't even pull the card that Apu has this musical devil fruit, and he has this card. And he has this card fruit because if Apu's a zone, it'll make more sense. Oh, he's just biased. Kaido's biased. He just likes the zones, but they're both not zones, so you can't even pull that card.
So you're saying Apu cracked first on EOS when you're saying like in terms of like prison thing, he cracked first. Is that what you're saying?
He could have cracked first.
So he didn't even go through the torture. He would just. He automatically bent the knee.
We ain't even tortured you yet, man.
I think they bent the knee on the spot, honestly.
I'm pretty sure they bent the knee on the
them.
spot. They got on their knees and said, "Master, please don't kill us."
Bro. Well, Hawkins could have bet first because he has the tarot card.
Exactly.
Hawkins was like, I see a 0% chance of me getting out of this situation. So I
don't know how.
You know what my head canon is? My head canon is Kid went at Kaido, and then that happened, and then Kid just got bodied. He got obliterated, and whatever, 1 shot, 2 shot, whatever, and then
Thunder Bagua.
Apu and Hawkins just kind of sitting there looking at each other, shook, sweating it up, right? And they just like they just bend the knee, like, hey man, hey, that's Kid. We know what he about. You know, we rivals. Yeah, we rivals, but hey, we can't deal with this one.
That nigga just got
he fell from the sky and broke a ship from a shockwave, bro.
Well, I can't be mad at that.
Think about it, and then one of the stronger members there gets baby shaked.
Yep. I ain't gonna be mad at you.
That's why I think he joined on the spot.
I ain't want to fight that nigga neither.
Might be right.
Hey, they were all immediately like Kaido-sama.
Like, I mean, if you could one shot Gear 4, man, then I mean,
that's a strong
who
nigga.
can blame you?
Yeah, nigga. Like shit.
It was so crazy to see something like that. And because you have him get his ass whooped by Katakuri for so long, make all of that growth observation hockey wise. See the new technique he pulled out with Snake. I mean, you're like, yo, Luffy's legit right now. Could he actually be the 5th Yonko? And then,
boom,
he got slapped up
instantly.
Like all your progress ended right there.
I mean, if that was Zoro, that wouldn't happen, you know.
I always wonder.
2 shots. I mean, come on.
Why do you think Oda removed Zoro from the situation? He didn't want to
Boy,
embarrass
no, get that
bullshit. Get the fuck out of here with that.
I mean,
Zoro. You know what's facts.
Kaido would have had the 2 shot Zoro.
You know what's facts. One, Zoro has Shusui, which is going to be rebuilt to be a dragon killer sword. And when Kaido sees it, Kaido's gonna get shook.
You really might be on to something.
He gonna get shook.
I don't think it's
like,
gonna be rebuilt.
I remember we didn't see that post-time skip Ashura yet. You know what I'm saying? Like that base would have broke.
That's what we call a head cannon
on site.
Like,
as a matter, I can see you in the intelligent person.
Accomplishment.
Please don't make me disregard that.
Kaido would have had to turn back into a dragon.
That's a head cannon fact.
I'm just playing, but
now we got head cannon.
I'm playing, but I'm saying you have to think about it. Shusui, what's his name, is canon to the universe, Ryuma, and he killed a dragon with that sword. And that's probably one of the reasons why that sword is a national treasure. Is because he killed that dragon of monsters with it. And it's known as a black blade. And throughout different stories, if you've ever watched or you've read The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug, when the way how they killed him was that they shot the black arrow, which removed one of the scales, and then they were able to actually do damage on him. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if Oda does play that up about Shusui. That is a special, dragon slayer sword. I wouldn't be surprised, but I doubt that Zoro will be.
You know what's gonna happen? You might be right, but not the way you're thinking. Moria is gonna show up, and he's gonna put Zoro's shadow into Luffy, and then that way Luffy can use the sword.
Wait a minute.
I'll let y'all later.
Because Zoro wasn't strong enough. I can see that. I can see that happening.
That's wild.
Hey,
J Hut, man, you been drinking?
Nah, I've been smoking though. Chill out.
Hey, J Hudson.
Oh, it sounds like you're not sober. That's all I know.
Hey, for real though.
Hey, now that shit happens.
Did you clock out yet?
J Hudson, you my nigga, but that is a head bazooka.
Look, it's possible. It's possible, dog.
That's a head.
Bro, I'm mad because I complimented you before the stream started and said you never said
I was
credits.
listening to you niggas.
Why would you? Yo, be your own niggas, man.
I mean, y'all.
What's next? Moria gonna pull up dead himself as a zombie, and then that dead Moria zombie will then do that?
Nah. Moria's joining Blackbeard's crew. So when Blackbeard and all them niggas show up to steal Kaido's fruit, that's how they.
What in the 2 piece?
What made you think that he's gonna join his crew?
What in the 2 piece?
Of course, he's gonna join Blackbeard's crew.
Oh, well, no, that's not of course. Well, you just put his best friend. Like, what are you talking about?
We got Owen Hudson over here.
I'm trying to
I can't believe I'm playing this.
J Hudson.
I'm trying to tell you, y'all just wait.
He would
They're
join.
not gonna kill out Moria yet.
He would join simply. He would probably only join simply to get revenge against Kaido, because he still hates Kaido for killing his crew.
Hey,
so he could join because of that reason.
And technically, he can bring Absalom back because he can bring back dead niggas. Like,
I mean,
yeah, but Absalom gonna be useless. He got no fruit.
Yeah.
let's
That's
just
true.
say if Kaido is an Oni, would he have a shadow that at all?
Yeah.
We've seen that nigga
Why
cast
would
a
he
shadow
not?
with his hand,
Everything has a
so he
shadow.
got
Yeah,
one.
okay.
Yeah, he has a shadow. The nigga has.
It's not that he has a shadow; it's that he can be given one.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he can be given one.
Exactly. So yeah, you can basically take anyone's shadow from there and give it to him.
All right, so can we talk about how Luffy was giving Alpaca Man sloppy toppy?
Wait, what?
Wait,
Yo, what is up with you, bro?
Yeah,
You mean
What are you talking about?
you mean Alpaca Man was giving him sloppy toppy? He was spitting all
That
over.
was so weird, nigga.
Yo, I was talking with some dude in BJVC, and he talking about he'll give his girl that fruit because of that slobber. That's crazy.
Wait, what?
that is wild.
Devil fruit.
Bro, who made
That's
y'all
wild.
like this,
That was
man?
Eric, wasn't it?
So you would do
Y'all sound like
someone
Grim right now.
you would do someone
Bro,
who
that's
some
looks
grim
like
shit.
that?
Bro, this is hands down one of the ugliest characters Oda has ever written.
Facts.
Alpaca
Nigga
Man.
says sloppy, whatever.
Like, bro, look at this long neck bastard.
Well,
And then you got Jack Jr. in the back.
talk.
Right.
Excuse me?
I did see that elephant dude. Yeah, I wonder what's up with him.
Wait, what?
That's crazy.
There's another elephant person like in that same panel. Kind
Yeah, he has an elephant coming out of his stomach, which is
Yep.
I disagree.
Which is
What? What do you disagree with?
Trash. This mouth is trash, man.
Came out of his chest.
Yeah, they don't seem too good.
You haven't seen a gifter do one good thing in this entire
Exactly.
I mean,
Besides get body.
Hold him, shot a fireball.
Yeah, it seemed like the
Every
more
gifter
higher
gets baby
tiers
shaped.
had like a pure
All
devil.
gifters are ass, my nigga.
Cheap shit was
Sanji
that.
did
The
have
gifter
upgrade,
suck.
Maybe we
dude,
should
but
see
it
a gifter face somewhere that's
The
not
jailers suck. The headliners suck.
the headliners don't suck.
Not all the headliners suck.
Damn.
Just some.
Do y'all think maybe there are like hidden?
All of them
headliners,
suck.
maybe?
That's including Drake, right?
I'm trying to find
All right.
Yeah, I
out.
was about to say that means
Wait
all
till
the
we
niggas
see
would have
page
to go
2.
with
Y'all
it.
gonna see.
Page
I'll
two.
say that.
Page
Nah,
two.
Drake sucks.
Y'all boys sleep.
Page 2.
Page
Y'all
two.
boys sleep.
Oh yeah, that's a new joke now.
I
Yo,
mean,
Drake
I-
is page
Oh,
two.
no, Eric, you mean Pagetois.
Yeah, Paget 12.
Pagetois.
Yeah.
That's stupid. No,
Yeah,
I'm still
yeah.
waiting. I'm
Bro.
waiting to see actual comparable samurai.
Paget
Is what I'm still waiting on.
Luffy gonna come out the prison like I'm page 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Y'all ain't touching.
Like, real,
Nah,
like I mean, let's actually talk about the headliners' accomplishments. So Hawkins, he's died 3 times in his arc.
That's like his thing though.
No,
you know?
Hawkins
More
beat
than that.
Zoro. Hawkins beat
More than
Zoro.
that.
Yeah.
Hawkins has died 3 times in this arc.
More than that, because
You
he
get
lost
out.
all his lives with
Uh,
law, fighting against law.
Yeah, he
All,
dug it out.
all his buddies.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
How can they be?
Let's see who else is
He
died.
Eldstone versus Zoro and Luffy.
I don't know. Vito.
Luffy didn't attack him.
Exactly,
he-
like, I don't know.
Let's see. Hold'em got 1 shot.
Hold him got a fireball.
He got back up.
We won't talk about that much
Hold'em
longer.
got
Hey,
2
but that
shots.
bullseye
His,
shot can take out a Yonko. Confirmed.
Yikes.
the lion on his belly got hit too, so it was a 2 shot. Wasn't a 1 shot.
It's too
Yeah,
short.
true.
What?
Hey, the lion was still
The
alive.
lion was still up,
Yeah.
like
Hold
trying to
him.
swing. What you mean?
Hold them.
They two different
Hold
people,
him.
but they're the same person though at the same
Hold'em
time.
got beat so bad he thought Kaido showed up to kill him. That's how bad
Yeah,
he got
did.
beat.
He's
That's how
God.
trash Hold'em is.
Let's see. Pagion didn't last very long.
low diff by Sanji.
He
Like
looked
he
cool.
should have been.
He looked cool though.
Like you niggas talking shit.
Drake heard about Sanji and ran.
What the hell?
Apu still hasn't shown up in the story. They have 3 or 4 more other fodder air pirates, flying pirates. I'm just tired of the headliners sucking, man.
Yo, I want to talk about Pooh. When you think about it, what could Pooh have? Because when you think about it, he's actually pretty slow. Like, I'm pretty sure he's playing
What?
characters faster. No, I'm pretty sure he's playing. No, listen. I'm pretty sure he's playing characters faster than speed of sound. So, what else do you think he could have?
It depends on what Oda wants to give him. Like,
He's gonna lose to Brook.
No, he's definitely gonna lose to Brook. Even though he's probably stronger than Drake, he's losing to Brook just because Brook is the better musician.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a thought. Brook gonna have a better mixtape.
I think his fruit maybe works like how Law's fruit works, but instead of it being a room, it's like if you hear the sound, he can like manipulate your body or something. I don't know.
So it's gonna be studio. He gonna be like studio.
So he can make you do it all.
Like, if you look at the fight with Kizaru, like Kizaru was a Logia, and that was before Haki was a like solid thing.
You know,
And then he like detached his arms and stuff. You know, it's like,
Yeah, I'm about to say if he can apply Haki to his like sound waves and sound attacks, that motherfucker is going to be broken.
For that to happen, you would have to believe that Haki can be applied in the air, which that's an argument all the time.
I mean, cut Monet with an air slash.
Yeah,
that's just Zoro though, but you know.
Shut up, Eris. And then you have
Zoro did cut.
And what about Katakuri's Haki machine gun?
We know there's Haki projectiles. We know this. We know this. Sentamaru did it. You know, we know it.
Yeah. Wait, Sentamaru did.
No, Sentamaru used the axe, bro.
And so did Rayleigh.
Rayleigh's the best example where he actually like did a force field and shit.
Yeah.
And Admirals.
Yeah, when the fuck is Luffy gonna be able to do that?
Never.
You're not that
This nigga said never.
Never.
I don't think we'll ever see Luffy do that.
I want to switch gears a little bit. So the Beaver card dropped, right?
That's right.
We finally have a Marine with the Conqueror Supreme King Haki.
Who has
what? Who has it?
Who was it?
Sengoku.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why y'all think
Sengoku has Conqueror's Haki.
Oh, okay.
He's still trash.
Not have it?
He's still trash.
They didn't say anything about Garp.
Well, I always thought that Garp would because they said it can be hereditary.
No, it is hereditary because Garp commented on it. He's like, "Oh, so you inherited that too?"
Yeah, and it said just like Dragon. So if Dragon inherited it, that would mean that it came from Garp.
I mean, it came from Garp's dad, though. You know, Garp didn't get it. It skipped him. You know, it just, you know.
Skipped the generation.
We see that in generations. And
or maybe it was Garp's wife that had it. And that's why.
Who's Luffy's mama?
Like, where did
or grandma? You know, Luffy grandma.
Yo, ACB said Batman has future here and he's Pirate King level.
I gotta tell y'all something.
And someone says Alpaca Man, and Anthony Zalvetta said Alpaca Man has the future spit.
We know about the color of arms. We know about the color of Haki. But we all have to remember the color of hair. So we got red-haired Shanks. We got Kid. But what y'all forgetting is we got the green-haired people, Bartolomeo and Zoro.
You always talking about this.
With these two people,
Bartolomeo. His name is very hard to say.
Who the hell is Bartolomeo?
Bartolomeo.
Who the fuck is Bartolomeo?
Bartholomew.
Bart.
Super rookie. You know you sound like
I was saying, how do you not know how to pronounce the nigga name and he's your Abby? Like what?
Right?
I mean, I heard niggas saying snack, snatch, snotch, snitch. Like, come on,
snatch.
Niggas was fucking that up earlier. You're right.
Pagion.
Yo, super rookie.
I'm just saying it's gonna come to light. Y'all gonna see.
Dog too.
Why you sound like Charlie, man?
Don't disrespect me like that.
Yeah, why you say that? Why you get that?
Oh no!
Oh no!
Hey, Toddy Hollywood now. He didn't want to come to the stream.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's because he got a girl now. He good.
Oh well, this is big news.
Hey man, apparently he told us on stream his girl got good top. So
did he?
Yeah, that was.
He must have met Sage's little sister.
Hey,
yikes! Yikes! Sage, if you're watching this, ignore him.
Make sure you like and subscribe. The stream is ending.
Oh, what's that one meme with the what's that? Oh, we got him.
Have a little bit of chill. I was thinking about ending it, but I didn't want to end it just yet. Can we talk about how trash Usopp is?
All right.
You can't do that at the
where'd that even come from?
Hey, you made sure.
I'm not gonna.
You made sure Hans wasn't up in here and Soap was up.
Fuck Hans. Fuck Soap.
He tried to get me started. Like, chill out.
I'm actually trying to upset EOS.
Right.
I mean, the guy hasn't had a one-on-one since Orange Town.
He doesn't need one because he bodied multiple niggas, my G. What are you talking about?
He definitely bodied.
He's a savior of a country. Tell me another character who does that, my nigga. Except for
wait, what'd you say? He does what?
I said he bodied Caesar Clown. He bodied Sugar.
Facts. Keep going.
Oh my God, he bodied an infant.
Little ass
girl.
So
she like 20 something. What you mean?
I mean, he was more than
Alright.
She like in her 20s.
And he was scared of the bitch for the most part.
Yeah. Who else scared somebody? Usopp has done that shit twice. He scared 2 people shitless that had OP abilities that could have one-shotted their entire crew.
It was about to turn into a toy. He saved his ass, my nigga.
I know that.
He's a terrible shipwright. He tried to fight his captain and got bodied.
He's a terrible shipwright, nigga. The whole reason why he's a great shipwright. That's the whole
word. That's why Mary had to get burned.
He's an okay shipwright. Like,
he's a great shipwright.
Hey, if he was such a good shipwright, they wouldn't even have the Sunny right now.
Okay, how they leave Skypiea?
They fail.
The ship fixed itself.
Exactly, because it believes in Usopp. They were talking to Usopp.
Goofy ass, no.
Come on, bro.
No. Goof ass, no.
The crew that talked to Usopp. The crew thought he was crazy.
Nick.
I mean, he's seen it. Like, he's like, oh, yo. Like,
and no one else saw it.
Yeah, but that's not.
The ship just fixed itself. Which it did, but I'm just saying they thought it was crazy. Or no, they thought somebody came through and fixed it.
And that was Usopp's doing. Come on, nigga.
Exactly. Like, he just happened to be there.
It wouldn't be like that, bro. They would still be on Skypiea.
Peter Pan came through and fixed the ship, and all of a sudden Usopp gets credit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what?
No, Usopp definitely gets credit.
How?
I would say Usopp was the ship host, probably.
Because the ship wouldn't have a connection to the crew without Usopp. It obviously shows
they wouldn't have the ship without Usopp. Just say that. Like, literally, they wouldn't have the ship if it wasn't for Usopp.
Okay, that's a fact too, but we can go even further. Like,
he's garbage, bro. He got body, bro. He pissed himself to Daddy Masterson.
What do you mean? He beat him, my nigga. What are you talking about?
Katakuri has a better sniper feat than him.
I thought Daddy Masterson kind of scared Usopp. Like, whatever. He was like, he was gonna kill him. But
he's
not even a good sniper.
What? He was hitting niggas from across an island. What are you talking about? He did what guns couldn't do.
Von Auger was doing that pre-time skip.
You know Usopp's gonna be.
He did it pre-time skip, man. Like he did it in at what was it? Ennie's lobby. He was hitting all the snipers that was.
He saw a bird go down, and Von Auger shot. He's like, man, I didn't even see a bullet.
What I'm saying is,
shot. There's a difference in skill, my nigga. It's not the same.
I agree. He's way better.
Cool. Usopp.
Von Auger.
I appreciate
Von Auger.
Yeah, imagine having a barrel versus a slingshot. That's
you know who else is trash?
Versus free weight, nigga.
You can't deny that Van Auger is a better shot than Usopp is, though. Like, come on.
He has a better tool.
Hey, I was gonna ask, like, do y'all think that Usopp?
He has a better shot. He has a better tool.
Like, if it wasn't Usopp himself who said that no one could possibly make a shot like that, then you'd have a point. But Usopp, out of his own lips, said no one can make a shot like that, and this nigga Van Auger was sniping that shit. Like, if it's
not a better shot than him, he has a better weapon than him. It's not the
same.
Oh,
come on.
If Van Auger had a slingshot, he's not making that shot. What are you talking about? He has a special gun too. It's not a regular.
If you give Usopp that gun, he's not making that shot either.
Yes, he is. How much you want to bet?
Like, you cannot tell me that.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You give him everything that Van Auger has, Usopp will hit that and more.
He's a god in the verse. If you gave him everything Van Auger had.
It's not just a gun. Like, Usopp, they knew it was a gun shooting. Like, they knew it wasn't a slingshot. Like, and Usopp's like, it's
not a regular gun, Spidey. It's not a regular gun at all.
It's not about it being a regular gun, bro.
Yes, it does. It has a lot to do with it being a regular gun. It's not a regular gun.
No, Spidey. That he does have a point. Because remember when they were at Ennie's lobby and the Marines were shooting at them and their bullets couldn't even reach them. Usopp was hitting them niggas.
That has nothing to do with it. Like, if you just give some random sniper that gun, they're not gonna make shots like that. You have like
Usopp is a genius. He calculated the win. He calculated everything, bro. I'm saying
Usopp is a genius, and he will
be better. Your favorite character can't be great like him. That's all I'm saying.
He will be a better sniper, but Usopp has not sniped anything that's beaten that Van Auger feat. back at Giant. He hasn't done it yet. I'm sorry.
Bro, did you see what he did at fucking Dressrosa? Getting that attack through that window, that one little piece slot from that fucking far away.
That's not better.
He calculated the wind. He calculated trajectory, all that other.
Any good sniper will do that, though.
I'll talk to y'all later. In the VC or something.
Right, bro.
I'm about to now.
Later, super.
Yeah, what up? Later, man.
Hopefully, y'all learn something. You know.
Shut the fuck up and leave.
Yeah.
All
right.
OP.
I think it's time we shut it down here.
I know, cause you just trying to get me mad. I feel you.
Yeah, before I end it though, y'all gotta chill with calling Whitebeard gay. Second of all,
oh no, that nigga definitely is gay. What?
No, he's not.
No. All right, so he just
and
has
second of all, Ace is trash. I went to Dunkin' Donuts today and I saw him on the wall.
Oh, you gotta chill.
Anyway, yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. Thanks for the 30 people watching right now. I appreciate y'all. Many more streams like this are on the way. You know how it is. We got a chapter dropping this week. It is lit. And more stuff
The
playing.
fuck you came back for, Spidey? Don't nobody want to talk to you.
Exactly.
Yikes!
I just got.
No, we let them know how we feel right now.
See, like when you expose Usopp on live stream, they get in their feelings. Like, that's what that's about. Like, no.
I would do this.
Somebody post the Discord for me.
I do this every day on the Discord. What are you talking about, Spike?
We ain't gonna do it with the Usopp disrespect.
Discord, and talk to one of these assholes.